All right. I know I am late. The game ended like an hour or so ago, but I wasn't going to not show up and do a live reaction, even though it's a little bit after the fact reaction to the biggest win of the year for the Celtics. I had some important family things to do. I went to talk to my grandma. Haven't seen her in a couple weeks. Wanted to say hi. We got caught up talking about politics. These things happen. I can't just be here for immediate reaction to every game, just most games. So took care of a family business, and now on to what was the most surprising result of the season so far. You could say most surprising result of the season so far for any team, not just the Celtics, and easily their best win of the year as they shock me and I think most of the basketball world by winning a scrap defensive oriented slugfest against the Miami Heat 95 to 78. The Heat were 6-1 coming into this game and looked like the best team in the NBA. The Celtics, on the other hand, as we well know, have been struggling. They got a win in Orlando last night, but that was against Orlando, not a team nearly the caliber of the Heat. But two teams who seem like they were at opposite ends of the momentum spectrum. They meet up, and Celtics put on a trouncing in the second quarter, 33 points, and allowed just 9 points. Really put on the defensive clamps in that quarter. Third quarter was a tie, 24. Lost the fourth quarter, 21-20, but that was more about the than anything. And really, a ton of credit goes to the Celtics for winning this game on against a really good Heat team. And the Celtics were on the second night of a back to back. The Heat had rest. The Celtics were on the road. Their star player, Jayson Tatum, played like crap, as he has for a lot of games this season. And they still won the game again by a healthy margin. Shocking. It's really a shocking result. One that I'm certainly not going to complain about, but we sort of need to make a little sense of it, right? How does this same team that blew a 18-point lead in about a minute and 30 seconds to the Chicago Bulls just a couple nights ago and got blown out by the Toronto Raptors in their home opener, how do they then go into Miami and handily outplay a team that looks like they're amongst the class of the NBA? Especially with all those extenuating circumstances going against them, as I mentioned, second night of a back to back on the road. No Tatum playing like crap. How did they do it? Well, to me, the answer is pretty obvious. They got tremendous play out of their bench tonight. I mean, really gangbusters. One of the best bench performances I can remember from the Celtics in a long time. You had three guys coming out the bench scoring in double figures. Romeo Langford, Dennis Schroeder, and Aaron Nesmith. And that paid humongous dividends, not just because of the points they provided, but because of the energy they provided. Specifically, those two young wings, Nesmith and Langford, they were providing at both ends of the court. They were hitting big threes, timely shots, and they just brought a lot of energy and enthusiasm to the team. You could see when they were on the court, the bench was really up and excited about what they were doing on there, and they put in a lot of effort. And it was nice to see the younger guys really give the team a jolt. And I think last show I criticized Coach Udoka for not playing Neesmith. It didn't really make sense to me. I know a lot of people have been. And tonight with Josh Richardson out of the lineup, Neesmith got his chance and he delivered. He deserves more playing time, and he came through tonight in a big way. 18 minutes off the bench, 5 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 5 from three. All of them were pretty timely. 3 rebounds and assists and 13 points, and was really hustling, diving on loose balls, scrapping. So a lot of things that don't show up in the box score. He provided ton of energy and a ton of just really positive momentum for the Celtics. And Romeo Langford, the same thing. He played 27 minutes off the bench, and he was 4 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 5 from three. Again, timely threes also. 2 rebounds and assists to 12 points. And again, more plays that don't show up on the stat sheet. Tip balls, good defense. So a really solid performance from those guys off the bench. And then, as I mentioned, Schroeder added 14 more points too. That's how the Celtics won this game. Is they got a lift from their younger guys who had been getting inconsistent minutes. And so a ton of credit goes to Aaron Nesmith, who has barely played this season. Just scored his first 3 points of the season, in fact, last night in Orlando, and then is a tremendous difference maker against the best team you've played all season long. I think that shows a lot about what Aaron Nesmith's all about and his ability and character. And I think he can really be a helpful addition to this team. I'd like to, based on how Josh Richardson played, I'd like to see Neesmith get more minutes. And I think the Celtics, they by acquiring Richardson, it was fine, but they made a dumb mistake in extending him before they even saw him play. And now he's eating into minutes for Langford and Neesmith, who are both, have I, I think a better chance to contribute positively to this team. So hopefully this gives Coach Udoka a lot to think about in terms of the lineup going forward. And those guys are featured, specifically Neesmith, who has again not played. Langford at least seen some playing time, but Neesmith I think deserves a lot more playing time. So let's go into the rest of the box score before we try to figure out the rest of this baffling but very very happy surprise result from the Celtics. Starters tonight were Jayson Tatum, Al Horford, Rob Williams, Marcus Smart, and Jaylen Brown. Tatum, again, just continues to brick everything in sight. He didn't score until I think late in the third quarter, just didn't have a point. He finished 3 of 13 from the floor in 29 minutes. Dreadful. 2 of 5 from three. Just 3 free throw attempts, hit 2 of them, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 10 points. It's amazing the Celtics won this game with how badly Jayson Tatum played and continues to play. He just seems like he's hurt or lost, and he's been god awful to start the year. Really, really bad. I don't know if he's unhappy with the team, his role, the coach who he handpicked to bring in here, whatever. Something's up. Maybe he's hurt. I don't know what's going on, but this is not a tenable thing for Jayson Tatum. Al Horford continues to be just so rock solid every time he plays. 29 minutes for him, 3 of 9 from the floor, 2 of 7 from three. Not great there, but not terrible. 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, an assist, and 2 blocks. 10 points for Al Horford. Did a really nice job on Bam Adebayo, limiting him. Just again, rock solid performance from Al Horford, who's continued to be the most consistent Celtic on the roster. Rob Williams played pretty well in his 24 minutes. Just 3 field goal attempts for him tonight. Hit 2 of them, 10 boards, an assist, 2 steals, no blocks, 4 points. Again, his game was more about defense and rebounding. He also did a nice job on Adebayo, limiting one of the more talented centers in the NBA. I think Williams and Horford combined did a very nice job defensively in this game. And that was a big part of why they held the Heat to just 78 points. Marcus Smart also pretty solid defensively. Not a great offensive game for him, but that's sort of what you've come to expect. 30 minutes for Marcus, 2 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three. So not great shooting, especially from distance, but at least he didn't shoot too many. 4 rebounds, just 2 assists, a steal, and 9 points for Marcus. Not bad, not great. Just sort of it was what it was. And Jaylen Brown was very solid tonight. 29 minutes, 5 of 14 from the floor. So he didn't shoot great from the floor. Did shoot well from three, though, 3 of 5. Took 5 free throw attempts, hit 4 of them. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 17 points. Nobody obviously scored that highly tonight because it was a 95-78 game. But when the Celtics needed somebody to try to get something going offensively, Jaylen Brown was attacking the basket, and he was the guy. So even though he led the team in scoring with 17, and that's not that many points, he was a big focal point of how they got things done offensively. And when you have somebody driving to the rim, obviously that opens up shooting for other guys. And I think that's why a lot of these complementary players that we've mentioned, like Langford and like Neesmith, were able to get open looks because of Jaylen Brown's driving ability. So solid game from Jaylen Brown. And then again on the bench, we already told you about Neesmith and Langford and what Schroeder did tonight. Other guys who played, Grant Williams didn't do much in his 12 minutes. He shot 1 of 3 from the floor. They were all 3-point attempts. And so he had just the 3 points on the night and 2 rebounds. And then the rest was garbage time. Peyton Pritchard, who continues to get baffling minutes. I think he should play more. He finishes with 3 minutes and 3 points. Bruno Fernando, 3 minutes, no points. Juan Herman Gomez, 3 minutes, no points. And Jabari Parker, also inconsistent minutes, 2 minutes and no points for him. But it doesn't really, the only DNP was Enes Kanter tonight. DNP coach's decision. Richardson was out for an injury. So the lineups still don't make a ton of sense to me. But hey, 2-game win streak, both on the road. You beat a bad team, and now you beat a really good team. Can you expect this sort of consistency out of the Celtics bench? I'd say no, but I think it's certainly a positive sign that Neesmith and Langford in a big game against a good team did contribute. That shows that they have the ability to do it. I'd like to see now Coach Udoka work them more into a consistent rotation and not be so reliant on saying, hey, we're paying Josh Richardson $12.5 million a year. We just extended him. He's a veteran. We got to play him. Let the guys who are playing the best play. Don't worry about contracts or veteran status or not. Play the guys who are going to give you the best chance to win. It seems right now like Neesmith and Langford are going to do that. I think it's been too long since Neesmith's gotten a fair shot. He hasn't really all season long until tonight, and it was really just because of an injury, and he proved himself. So I'd like to see that. I don't know that they'll be able to consistently give you double digits off the bench, but I do think they'll be able to consistently give you effort. And the Celtics have lacked that at times this season. As far as Jayson Tatum, like I said, I don't really know what to make of it. I don't know if it's he's upset because he's the rule change, he's not getting the free throw calls he would want, or he's upset with Marcus Smart calling him out, or he's not feeling well, injury. I don't know, but something's wrong, and they need to figure it out because there's not going to be many games where Jason Tatum shoots 3 of 13 from the floor and you win. And damn sure there's not going to be many games against good teams like the Heat where he does that. So the Celtics need to figure out what's going on with Tatum and fast if they want to have any chance of having, this team firing on all cylinders. But, for a team that looked like they were completely sunk earlier in the week against the Bulls, this was a great way to end the work week. They have obviously another game. They have a game on Saturday against the Mavericks. It'll be a nice test for them too on the road. But a good little rebound here. I still don't think any of their major problems have been solved. I think if anything, this game was more of an anomaly because Miami just they didn't shoot the ball particularly well. You played very good defense to your credit. But, I don't think that there's going to be a ton of nights where Tyler Hero goes 3 of 11 off the bench and Duncan Robinson hits only 5 of 17 3-pointers. Man, he took 17 3-pointers. Holy crap. I don't think that that's going to happen all that often. So again, I look at this as more of a fluky win, but that's okay. Wins count all the same. There's no style points in the NBA, and you can build off of this. You beat a really hot team on their home court, so get some confidence and build off of it. It's not a bad thing. You take any win you can get, and if it gives them confidence, then all the better. But I still ultimately feel like the pieces are wrong and the lineups are bad, and so long term, I think there'll be more frustrating loss than surprising wins, but we'll see. And I'm pleasantly surprised. I hope this happens much more frequently, but I'm still gonna have my doubts until they prove me wrong. So I'll be back at it on Saturday when they take on the Dallas Mavericks and Luka Doncic. That game is in Dallas. A little bit of a late start, 8:30 Eastern. So I'll be live after that game. Make sure you check it out. And thanks everybody for watching. I will talk to you later. See you, everybody.